Okay, so this is going to be over tonicity and just kind of some basic knowledge to get us started here. Okay, so first I want to talk about hypertonic, isotonic, and hypotonic. Okay, so the first thing to remember is that this is talking about solute and then outside of the cell. So hypertonic means that there's a lot of solute outside the cell. Hyper, think high, like a lot of coffee, a lot of solute around outside. Hypo, just the opposite, low solute outside the cell. Okay, so now we're going to think about what this does. And iso means same, so we're going to start with iso here. And iso, if there's the same amount of solute concentration in and out of the cell, then the water that's moving back and forth will be equal. And so this is good and normal for our cells, and this is what we want. Okay. So let's say you drink, like I said, suggested a lot of coffee. So now you have a lot of caffeine in your blood system. It becomes higher in solute concentration outside. We're going to be able to quantify these values in water potential later. But if there's high solute outside the cell, then there's a lower concentration of solute inside the cell. So the low concentration of water would be outside the cell, and inside the cell it would be a high concentration of water. And the high concentration is going to want to flow. The water concentration is going to want to flow from high to low, just like a slide. So water is going to move out of the cell from high concentration of water to low concentration of water. Always just remember it, water moves towards solute. In a hypotonic solution, a similar thing occurs except in reverse. Because there's more solute inside the cell, because the fluid around the cell is low in solute, hypotonic, low in solute outside the cell, the water is going to move into where there's more solute. So high concentration of water, low concentration of solute, it's going to move from high to low. And it's kind of relative. So now we're going to learn just some terms. Once again, iso is the same in and out. Hyper is high solute outside the cell. Hypo, low solute outside the cell. Okay, so now some words. For animal cells, crenate is when they are going to shrink or shrivel. Lyse is when they're going to fill and burst and explode. Lyse. And then for plant cells are a little different. In animal cells, they want to be in the isotonic normal range. Plant cells are a bit different. They have a central vacuole. So in an isotonic solution, this is kind of normal. But they want to be in a more hypotonic solution, which is why we spray vegetables to fill up this central vacuole to keep it nice and plump. So that's why if you spray your lettuce, it's going to get more rigid and stuff, because these cells are bringing in the water and making it more rigid, because the cell is pressing against the cell wall. They do not explode or lyse. They become what is called turgid. Now, if plants are put in a hypertonic solution, they're going to become wilty. And so the cell membrane is literally going to shrink away from the cell wall. And we call that plasmolyzed or plasmolysis. So just to recap, hypertonic, high in solute, isotonic, same as solute, hypotonic, low solute. Hope that was helpful.